Solving and graphing compound inequalities. Two inequalities solved at the same time, graphed on the same number line. So here we are with a real life example. Admission, can someone read it to me? The little sentence.
To Disneyland for 1 day, 1 park is 89 cents. Was I supposed to raise my hand?
You started, finish.
Oh, $89 for children ages 3 to 9.
Okay, so that's all I needed you to read. Okay, I looked it up online. This is accurate, today's prices. So, super expensive, of course, everyone knows that. But the whole point is that if my child is 0 years old, or if my child is 1 year old, or if my child is 2 years old, then they are free. So that's cool. They have to pay the kids' price once they hit 3, and then all the way up to age 9. The moment they hit age 10, they're then in adult pricing. So, with this, ages 3 through 9, I have a certain boundary. Between 3 and 9, that's when children can get in at the children's reduced rate of $89. Ha ha ha, right? So, we need to write this as an inequality. And what I mean is I want to talk about the age 3 and then the age 9. Because obviously in between is included. But age 3. So if I'm going to write x something 3. And I'm asking you, tell me how to write an inequality talking about 3-year-olds and their admission and the $89 pricing. So am I going to have a less than or a greater than for admission for kids pricing? Kids pricing for a 3-year-old. Is it x is less than 3 or x is greater than 3? Good. It is greater than. Could I be exactly 3 and get in? Okay, so I'm going to do that. Greater than or equal to 3. Okay, now how about a 9-year-old? What's the information that we know about 9-year-olds and paying the $89 rate? Yeah, it's less than or equal to because that's the max. If you hit 9, that's your last year at a super cheap $89 rate. Okay. Now, what we're talking about today is we've got these two inequalities, but we're going to merge them. So how we merge them is we merge them by following a couple of rules. First rule is I'm going to put the x in the middle. I'm going to put my smaller number on the left. I'm going to put my larger number on the right. Okay? What number is smaller between 3 and 9?
3.
What number is larger?
9.
Okay. Now, right here, it says x is greater than or equal to 3. But here, I have the order reversed. So, if this says x is greater than 3, if I reverse it, always remembering that the alligator is eating the x right here. When I go down and I write it here, the alligator still has to be eating the x. So x was on the left, 3 is on the right, but now I'm flipping it. 3 is on the left, x is on the right, which means my inequality has to face the different direction. So it will look like that. Now the x is less than or equal to 9. Nothing has to change on that because they're in the same order. X left, 9 right, x left, 9 right. So right here in the middle, what am I going to write? Keeping it exactly the same. So I just wrote for you a compound inequality. I had two separate inequalities talking about the age, and now I have one long inequality sentence, we'll call it. Here's how you read it. 3 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 9. X is the number in the middle, which could be a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, right? 3 and 9, 3 is the youngest, 9 is the oldest. And all the numbers in the middle are solutions to my inequality. So, how would we call this an and inequality, because when we graph it, you'll see that they are, well, I'll explain the and after we graph. Okay, put your 0, put your 3, put your 9. Even though I reversed it, look back to the original for graphing. X is greater than or equal to 3. Is it closed circle or open circle? Does it go to the right or to the left? Greater than 3, right? Now, my 9. Closed circle or open circle? Does it go greater than or less than? Yep. My inequalities connect. That means that any child 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 can get in for the price of $89. I call this an and inequality because my solutions are 3 and 9, and they hit each other, they connect. And all my solutions are together. It's an and because my arrows will hit, my answers will all be in the middle. Okay? So that's an example of an and. Here's an example of an or. Someone new read it.
The Boys and Girls Club of Boys and is taking donations to help build a new gym. Donations over $900 or less will be honored with their name in the program. However, donations of $1,000 or more will be honored with their name engraved on a plaque.
All right. So the Boys and Girls Club is trying to provide their donors with an incentive. They want people that donate $900, $800, $700 to be recognized, and they'll be written on a piece of paper, like in a program, like typed out. But really and truly, they want more money because they want a better gym. So there's the incentive of, hey, if you donate $100 more, your name will be on a plaque and it'll be on our building forever. So then people will be thinking, oh, well, to have my name on a plaque, I'll give $100 more, right? Of course, giving $900 and $1,000 is hard to do, so those that are able to donate and want to donate will. But there's always going to be an incentive, and it's like that for any sort of fundraising, anything. Your name gets to be on the t-shirt if you donate this much. You get recognized at the ceremony if you donate this much. So there's always an incentive for the high donations. Okay? So what we have to do now is we have to talk about what will our donations look like. I want to write an inequality for the 900, and I want to write an inequality for the 1,000. So I need your help with what do I put for my 900. We're talking about now $900, the people that get their name in the program. So is that going to be like a less than, a greater than, or what? Less than or equal to. Then you get your name in the program. How about engraved on a plaque for those $1,000 people? Okay. Combined, here's the rules. The smaller number always goes on the left. You know, order, smaller to bigger. The X will go in the middle, and the larger number goes on the right. Okay. What number is smaller? What number is larger? Okay. Here's the part that could potentially mess you up. Right now, the alligator is eating the 900. Make sure that when you flip it and switch it, it's still eating the 900. Has to do that. And then likewise, with my 1,000, it's just in the same order. X blank 1,000. Greater than or equal to. Okay? Last part. How would we graph that on a number line? Okay. Well, my 0 will be way over here. 900, 1,000. Okay. Closed circle or open circle at 900? Going which direction though? Go back here. X is less than or equal to 900. Don't look at this to graph. This is not in the proper order. Look at what the original equation was. That's the proper order for graphing when the X is on the left. Tell me again. What direction? Thank you. Okay. 1,000. Open circle or closed circle? Which direction? Right. Okay. This inequality is called an OR inequality because my solutions are either one way or another, right? So, I got answers over here, nothing in the middle. I got answers to the right. Okay? So there's a gap missing in the middle, and that will always happen when you have an or inequality. There's a space that just won't be accounted for, and there's going to be missing numbers. My solutions are only 900 or less, and my solutions are only $1,000 or more. Now let's go to your worksheet. If you had to give me a definition of the word compound inequality, what would you say? Someone? Yeah.
To combine two inequalities.
Sounds awesome. A compound inequality. And I'll say just like you said it. To combine two inequalities. I want to let you know that this is the plural form IES, not YS. So make sure you are spelling properly since this is English class. Okay. Awesome. Compound inequality, they're also graphed on the same number line. And there are two types. And inequalities go together, or one way or the other. Two different directions. Okay. Starting off easy. I'm giving you a math sentence, and you're writing it in numbers, inequality symbols. So, all real numbers that are greater than or equal to -2. Stop there. Greater than or equal to -2. So, all real numbers just means x. Greater than or equal to -2. Greater than or equal to -2. Looks like that. I mean, that was easy, right? And then it says the word and. Woo! That means that my arrows are going to point towards each other. I know that in advance. And then it says less than 3. So I need to write a second inequality, completely separate, saying less than 3. Just put the less than symbol and put a 3. Let's combine them. I need to combine using my rules. Smaller number goes on the left. X goes in the middle. Larger number goes on the right. What number is smaller?
-2.
What number is larger? Okay. The only thing that I really care about is that when you do your X and your -2, you pay attention because you just flipped the order. Now X is on the right and the -2 is on the left. So since the alligator with blue teeth is eating the X here, it eats. Okay, let's try that again. Since it's eating the X in our original, when we make it compound, it still needs to eat the X. The X and the 3. We're not changing that order at all. Wonderful. Write it as you see it. X is less than 3. Let's graph them. -2, just put it somewhere. -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Count so that you get the spacing correct. Okay. Open circle or closed circle at -2? Which direction does it go? Be careful. Go to the original OG problem.
Right.
Right. 3. Is it open circle or closed circle? What direction does my arrow go for X is less than 3? And together, that means that all of the solutions to this math inequality lie in between -2 and then what? Positive 2.9 or something. 3 is not included in our answer because it's an open circle. Moving on. Can I move on? Okay. Here, same thing. X and X, you're going to write two inequalities. It's an or, and the only reason that I bring that up is because it says or in the middle. And the other reason I bring it up is because now my arrows are going to go one way or the other. So, graph it, write it. less than or equal to -3, greater than 0. You just read the sentence and you write exactly what you read. My compound, smaller goes on the left, larger goes on the right, X is in the middle. Okay. Well, in numerical order, -3 is smaller, 0 is larger. Tell me how the signs would go, someone. Yeah.
They would go negative.
Read it. Start at -3 is what? How would you read it?
The X is less than or equal to -3.
I don't know, because right here, it says X is less than -3, but remember I switched the order?
Oh, -3 is greater than or equal to.
Yeah. What about the X and the 0? How's that look? Greater than. Okay. Perfect. Red. -3 is greater than or equal to X is greater than 0. That's how you would read it. Start at the beginning. -3 is greater than or equal to X is greater than 0. And go towards the end. So I'm marking -3. -2, -1, 0. Use your original 2 to graph it. People get confused when they try and graph it off of this one. Nah, go back to what you started with to really help you. X is less than or equal to -3. Closed circle, less than, left, lower. X is greater than 0. Open circle, greater than, to the right. My solutions are anything smaller than -3, and my solutions are anything bigger than 0. Okay, water is a non-liquid. Non-liquid means gas. Non-liquid means a solid, ice. If I were to boil a pot of water, I've done it. I did it last Thanksgiving with the turkey. You're supposed to like make a brine. So anyways, you boil water and you put the, now I forget how to make it. Anyways, you boil a bunch of water. And I let it sit on the stove. And so we woke up at like 2 in the morning and the whole house smelled like burnt something. And it was like, what? So it's because all of the water had evaporated out because it got so hot that steam formed in the pot and the water became steam and then there was no water in the pot anymore. So there was just like a burning pot of emptiness. Okay? So that's when it becomes a gas. Over 212 degrees. Solid means that you put your water in the refrigerator that's really cold, the freezer, and it becomes 32 degrees, or maybe 31, or 30, or 29, and it becomes a solid ice cube. So we need to write an inequality showing that 2 things happen. Over 212, it's not a liquid, it becomes a gas. And then under 32, it's not a liquid, it becomes a solid. Someone want to tell me the 2 inequalities? Because, you know what? I'd love to hear you speak.
X is less than or equal to 32.
You're right. Lower than 32 degrees makes it freeze. Second one, for gas,
X is greater than or equal to
212 degrees. Okay, so compound. Smaller number is 32. Bigger number is 212. X goes in the middle, right? The signs are could be potentially the tricky part. But we're so good now. Alligator eats the 32. Make sure it still eats the 32. 212. X is greater than 212. Keep it greater than or equal to 212. And I don't even need to graph it. I just had to write an inequality. Is this an and or an or? Look at the words in the original problem. Or. Okay? That means that I'm going to have something like this. Because in the middle, 31 degrees and 211 degrees, my water is still a liquidy water. Okay? You have two choices when you're driving in Pennsylvania. You can have a speed limit of 65. What does limit mean? Less than or greater than? No more than, but
Less than or equal to.
okay. I could go exactly 65 and be totally fine. Tell me about this minimum of 45 miles per hour. What does minimum miles per hour mean? You did the last one. Someone? Yes, sir.
X is greater than or equal to 45.
Good. Why do the police say that they want you to drive above 45 miles per hour? Why would they even have to do that?
It could cause traffic if someone doesn't go fast enough.
Yeah, if they go super slow, and you've probably seen it when someone's driving you around, they just go super slow and it just causes problems. So, they had to actually make a rule. So, you could get a ticket if you were going 44 degrees, or 44 miles per hour. Okay, compound. I want someone to write it on this for me. It's between you two. Sorry. So watch your writing. Make sure that yours would be exactly the same as hers. Are we good? Where's the mistake? Just verbally to say where's the mistake.
The sign between the 45 and the end.
Okay. That's okay. Yeah, good. Look, she fixed it. Okay. So, just that. There's a tool for erasing, but don't worry about it. Okay, looks good. All right, we got it. Is this an and or an or?
And.
How do you know it's and? Because it says. And they would be pointing towards each other because that's the safe speed. You won't get a ticket together. All right? Okay, now I'm actually going to make you do some math. Yeah. So, here's some rules that we need. We want to move all the numbers from the middle because I want this at the end. X in the middle, kind of like we were just writing. I also want to start by moving the constant. That word we've used a lot. Number by itself has no backpack on it. What is the constant for number 3? A constant has no variable, the 3. So here's the rule. Add or subtract it to both sides, left and right. Okay, you're actually going to do it 3 times. You have to subtract 3 from itself. So watch. You have to subtract 3 from the left. You also have to subtract 3 from the right. So make sure that your 3 cancels itself out in the middle. Make sure that the left-hand side is completely taken care of, -3, and the right-hand side has a -3. Okay, what is -5 minus 3?
-3.
Keep the signs the same, nothing changed. What's the only thing left in the middle?
2x is
And then what, oh, sign? Sign didn't change. 7 take away 3. 4. Okay. Step number 3. Red star or purple star, whatever. Multiply or divide the coefficient to both sides, left and right. Coefficient is what number? 2. So do it. Divide by 2 in the middle to cancel itself out. Divide by 2 on the left to take care of that side of the inequality. Divide by 2 on the right to take care of that side of the inequality. Do my inequalities like change positions or directions or anything? Did I? No. -8 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2. Is this an and or an or? It doesn't say, like there's no words. You'd have to graph it. Real quick. Let's try reading it backwards. I know you can do it. X is greater than or equal to -4. The alligator's eating the X. So greater than or equal to, closed circle, greater than. X is less than 2. Open circle. So this is now and or. Perfect. Number 4, you're going to do with the people table talking. And it's super easy because look, it's already separated for you. What's that?
Do we have to do the and graph?
No. It just says solve on your, but I just wanted to, show you what it looked like. So right now, keep going.